All right, guys. I got something of not a big dilemma, but something that is going to become more and more common. Is a few years ago, about 10 years ago, Carrier decided to enter the RV industry and making ACs for RVs. And in fairness, they're a good AC unit. I never had any problems with them. I never had to fix a single one, but maybe they made them too well, and they left the industry. So you can't get parts for those anymore. You can't get the replacement units for those anymore. And of all the manufacturers, Damon Motorhomes used those Carrier ACs. And so now when those ACs go out, there's a dilemma. Let's take a look. So this is a 2008 Daybreak. They have a self-contained roof AC plenum, and there's the buttons right there. But unlike all other motorhomes or RVs, they don't use a wired thermostat. They have a remote controlled thermostat. So you have a few options when it comes time to replace the entire unit. Dometic and Coleman have a adapter kit to use the existing plenum, so that's control box, the air filter housing. It's just a plug and play where your new ACs plug into this harness, so it's just a new harness and everything works. The dilemma is if your supplier is out of stock of that retrofit kit, or it seems wrong to use a 10-year-old, 15-year-old control box on an AC unit that is brand new, and so this might go out in time and you're left an obsolete unit. The problem is that the thermostat right here is just remote control. It's got the temperature sensor right here, and then the electric eye for the remote is on the controller. So of course the problem is all other thermostats or all other roof ACs, be it the Coleman, Dometic, or even the Furrion, require a wired thermostat. And there wasn't any thermostat wired under the walls here. So I had to change the one in the kitchen here. And so the thermostat wiring doesn't exist. I just have a remote. So if I want to wire this up with a thermostat, I'm going to have to run wires all the way through the duct or through the roof, or do some disgusting outside conduit down to a wall somewhere, and you need a controller for that. So I thought I'd try a different manufacturer that I don't normally use, even though their ACs are fine. Let's take a look at it. So this is an Atwood Air Command, a high capacity heat pump. Atwood came out with these right before they were bought, and there was some debate whether they were going to keep making these or not, but apparently they're going to keep making these, so I don't have to worry about those being obsolete. They're plenum on the inside, and the reason why I went with them is because they have a wireless remote. Now, I'm not too satisfied with the wireless remote because it just looks like a generic window unit remote control, but nevertheless, it is wireless. However, this is a ducted unit, and ducted units, this control with the sensor on it is usually mounted on the plenum here, but this one's not mounted on the plenum. I'd still have to run a wire. So all this thinking was for nothing. What I'm going to try to do, and see if it'll work, is mount this right on the AC grill right there, using the mounting bracket from behind. And then we have the exact same setup as before. You can use everything right here. They'll have all your modes. They have furnace and temperature. Extended warranties already don't want to pay half the time for any obsolete parts, just for the broken part, not the parts that make the other part work. And so they're not going to pay me to run all the wires, put that wall thermostat control somewhere. So I'm going to see if this works. If you see this video, it must work. If not, I'm talking to myself. I hope that overview explained everything. So all I'm going to do is disconnect this AC, get the new one on top, secure it down with the plenum, and then we'll go from there. So that's just pretty straightforward. I've just unplugged it. I'll undo the 110 wiring, undo the bolts, and then pull the AC off, put the new AC on it. The new kit comes with a mounting, comes with a bolt-on mounting plate right here. This does have the quick cool feature, so I mean, I guess it's a little bit better. You can open those up to dump air straight down. I've also been told that these plenums are a little bit better diffusers, so they're not quite as loud as all your other roof ACs. We'll see if that's true. All right, so we just got the 4 1/2-inch bolts out. So everything's out of the way now. Everything's undisconnected. Now I can actually just get the AC off of here, get the forklift, and put the new one on. All right, get this fork AC up there. Pretty excited. I don't normally get to use a forklift. I always have to do this with a ladder on mobile calls. It's been a good forklift. So here's what the carrier AC looks like. Like I said, these have been really good ACs. They're pretty quiet and pretty reliable. So that one shouldn't look too bad in comparison. They'll still have the rear AC. Like I said, they were getting an upgrade to a heat pump, so it's already 3,000 times better, right? And this was a 13.5, and now they're getting a 15K BTU. So it's all the way around a good deal for them. I'm just going to save this pallet so I can put the old AC on there. Well, I put this one where the old AC was. Now these Atwoods have actually been out for about 5 years or so, and I'll say I haven't ever had to fix one. They've been very reliable. They just haven't, I guess, made too much traction in the industry. That being said, it's kind of hard to see, but there's this building right about there that makes toy haulers. They're a local manufacturer. They make toy hauler fifth wheels and travel trailers, and this is what they use on all their ACs. So they have to stand behind that and feel pretty good about that. They're made by Man Cave RV, just a local guy. It's a good story for another time, probably. All right, well, there we go. We got the new unit put down. Old unit's on the forklift. I'm in this setting sun, and we're gonna get this thing wrapped up for the day. Now, because this is a ducted AC, and all that means is that there are sealing ducts. We need to put an air dam in there to separate the return from the supply here. So this is gonna go right about here. And I just have to cut it. Luckily, it tells me what side to cut from. I think it's that side. So let's just cut that and then put it back in place. All right, look at that, all done. So just like it says, don't put your hand up in there because that's just styrofoam. It's a styrofoam box. This is a high-tech strain reliever that holds the cable up out of the way. And of course, this is just a 12-volt furnace wiring and the 110 wiring. We're talking about putting this up. You got the junction box in there, so the 110's hooked up. It still uses 12 volts, so you have 12-volt wires. Those are wired up. And then this is the thermostat wiring, so it turns on, or the furnace wiring, so it turns on the furnace. The one thing that you do want to check whenever you do an AC or even install an AC is make sure that the attic isn't being vented. So you can see that conduit they ran. That should get sealed off so we're not drawing air from inside the roof. Same with these holes right there. And then if it's ducted, make sure the ducts are are sealed off and not blowing air into the attic or the roof itself. So that's always a good thing to check. A lot of times there'll be cuts right there. Sometimes this will just be completely open to the truss. So check all those, and then we'll put this together. Well, there it is installed. I just have to put the plenum, the grill, on now. And then this wire right there, it goes to the controller. And And that should be long enough to get where I need to go. I'm definitely not a big fan of this installation or this AC. I can't say I recommend them. These bolts are not high quality. The threads didn't line up very well. And it's kind of ridiculous. So my original plan was to do something elaborate with bolts and backing plates, but I'm pretty sure it'll interfere with the air filter installation, so I just widened these holes on the mounting bracket. I'll put some high quality double-sided tape back there to keep it from moving back and forth. And I'm just going to zip tie this thing on. I think that'll work out the best. Let's see how that looks. This is what I came up with. It just zip ties on that grill right there. I got some double-sided tape. It's kind of hard to see. And that'll just go right there. It's pretty durable. And then that'll just go right in its place right there. So now I just have to put this up there and see how it works. Let's see. And with that, that's on there. So this is definitely a lot bigger than the original grill or all the other Industries. So I don't know if they're using that in order to quiet it down quite a bit. Now this one of course has a quick air dump feature, so you can open that up to dump air right into the one room right here instead of going through the ductwork there. Or you can open one or both. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. On button. And of course, that's not flashing on, just on camera. That's solid. I can see it's solid. I'm just going to be in cool mode. You can put a fan in high, medium, or low, and the temperature is right there. So let me go ahead and close those off. All right. Now this is likely not the way that most people are going to use it. They're going to use it off the remote control, which of course was the plan. The remote was right about there. I'll let the customer or the owner decide where to put that. But I guess that's an option that's available. That air filter is easily removable. Nothing's in the harness isn't in the way. And rather than mounting this kind of unsightly controller on the wall somewhere, because I'm not saying it's completely unsightly, but it's kind of unsightly. So overall, what do I think? I think everything's a lot more complicated than it ever needs to be. Everything's more difficult than it always is. Something like that. Again, this was to replace a carrier roof AC on an RV that is obsolete. You can't buy them anymore. I don't know. Maybe you could find something on eBay, but nothing that I can warranty. I went with the Atwood, again, because there was no wall thermostat on this. I could have gone with an adapter kit for either a Coleman or for a Dometic. The problem being that I have to use the old carrier controller. And so if that carrier controller goes out in 5 years, they're going to have to put a wired thermostat in anyways. And so we're trying to make sure that this lasts longer than 5 years, right? I was a little surprised that the controls for this carrier heat pump, ducted, for the ducted style, was supposed to be ran to a wall, which defeated the whole purpose of this. That's why I mounted it to the AC plenum. You'll see on the non-ducted, the manual grills, it just mounts up there. You can take it off and mount it somewhere, or you can just leave it there. Overall, it's cooling really well. They're theoretically use less power. This is a 15K BTU rated, but it has the capacity of 18,000. How true that is, I don't think that's true. I think that's just marketing again, especially in Arizona. That's definitely not true, I'm sure. I could have gone with the Furrion. The Furrion just came out with an AC. It looks pretty slick. But I don't know how long those are going to be in the market. So sometimes it's hard to put new products in because they get pulled from the market so fast. Industries buy each other and then discontinue their product. I hope this helps somebody. I wish somebody would have done this for me. Thanks, guys. Wish me well.